Politics has been described as the practice of the distribution of power and resources in a state or any organized human population, facilitated under democratic principles, whereby representative government accommodates all shades of opinions and vested interest within society, enabling a process of articulation of ideas within the system of governance for distribution of national resources.
Representative democracy, the interests of all constituencies and constituents are taken into consideration and represented. And that is why you see every constituency we have a member either in the National Assembly or in the State Assembly, and then at the lower level, at the local government level, you will see councillors representing the interests of their people.
The man who represents you in the National Assembly, who ordinarily should first understand that identity, resets back to his ethnic, religious, political, and not the Nigerian. So it's a walk.
In liberal democracies, government carries out its functions through established structures and institutions, and in Nigeria through the three tiers of government: the executive, legislature, and the judiciary. And because politics and government are operated by humans, there is bound to exist divergent interests, where these three institutions play the role of reconciling these interests. Of these institutions of government, the legislature plays the major role of reconciliation of interest through proper representation.
At the National Assembly level that you have talked about, they have done one or two little things here, but they have shown themselves to be more interested in serving themselves, in serving their pockets. That is where their take-home is the most humongous. No, that was why at the National Conference last year, I was one of those crusaders that we need only a unicameral National Assembly. We don't need 109 members in the Senate, then 360 members in the House of Representatives. What do we need them for? 109 members are enough to represent this country.
The presidential system of government, with the three tiers of government spreading across board, the federal, state, and local government, typified the image of representation and provide for the reconciliation of interest. Politics provide a basis for distribution of resources. This is done through budgeting. The president presents the annual budget, which must be approved in a balanced manner by the lawmakers to ensure even distribution. The concurrent list also serves as a meeting point for reconciliation of vested interests.
In fact, last year we had to, recommend at the National Conference that from now onwards, any time the government does not pass its own budget before December, before November of a year, there should be a shutdown of government. Because what has been happening up to now, as I'm talking to you, the 2015 budget has not even been passed by the National Assembly. March has finished. So what are you going to use the budget to do? In those days, we used to have what you call 5-year development plan. There, you will see it sequentially listed as to what the government is going to do in the next 5 years.
It's in a bid to further ensure even distribution of resources that the Federal Character Commission was established in 1996 to ensure that socio-economic amenities and opportunities are equitably distributed among the federating units.
Those who designed the Federal Character Commission took into consideration the political dynamics of Nigeria, took into consideration the educational issues in Nigeria, and also took into consideration both the religious and ethnic dynamics of our federation. And I agree.
So far, since its inception, it has been concerned with the issue of employment, which you must agree with me that is one of the major problems that our country has. And the Commission is doing tremendously well to ensure federal character compliance in all organizations within the purview of the Commission.
All these form the kernel of government which is produced by the political system. But because of the attitude of some Nigerian politicians, politics in Nigeria has been viewed by many as dirty, a game of wits and taken to the extreme of the survival of the fittest, and winner or winners takes all, leaving the vanquished totally consigned to being forgotten. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.